Welcome to the 2026 Atlantic Sun Conference Softball Preseason Show. I am William Hall, your host, as we take a look around the entire conference getting ready for next week's first pitch. We're going to take a look at some preseason awards as well as the preseason coaches poll. And what better place to start than those preseason rankings? Coming in at number one, to probably no one's surprise, our reigning champion, North Florida, who garnered all 12 of the first place votes. The Ospreys are followed by EKU at number 2, Central Arkansas at number 3, and Austin Peay at number 4. The FGCU Eagles and Stetson Hatters round out the top half of the preseason poll. North Alabama is 7th, followed by Lipscomb and Jacksonville. Then we've got Queens, West Georgia, and Bellarmine rounding out the final 3 spots in the preseason rankings. So now, let's take a look at each of our teams, beginning with the Bellarmine Knights. The Knights begin year one under new head coach Whitney Arian. Bellarmine ended with a 7-34 overall record, with 2 of those wins coming during conference play last season. The Wolves are in year 2 of their Division I transition. This season, the team gets started at home opening weekend, hosting 5 teams, including ASUN members Bellarmine and Austin Peay. The Royals made their second consecutive conference postseason appearance last year after going 9-15 in league play to finish tied for 4th in the Graphite Division. Queens begins the 2026 season on the road at the 1868 Classic in Hampton, Virginia. Jacksonville opens the 2026 season with the River City leadoff welcoming Colgate, North Dakota State, and UMass to the Dolphins' home field. Erica Ayers enters her 9th season at the helm of the Jacksonville program. Next, the Lipscomb Bisons. The Bisons look to make an ASUN championship appearance for the 2nd season in a row. Lipscomb gets the 2026 year started on the road in Hattiesburg, Mississippi at a tournament hosted by Southern Miss. After going 30-21 overall in 2025, North Alabama gets this season started on the road at the Trojan Classic in Troy, Alabama. The Lions are looking for their pitching to give them a big boost this season, aided by these 2 student athletes.
I am now joined by Emily Simon and Olivia Wilkin from North Alabama. First things first, congratulations to both of you for being named the preseason pitcher of the year for ASUN softball. Just talk to me about what it's like to receive that honor.
Honestly, that's kind of crazy. I didn't expect that at all, but that really just allows me to want to push myself even more this year and be even better and do everything I can one last time for my team. So
just going off what Ayla said, it's crazy to be named that, and we're on the same team, so I think it just motivates me for this season. Like, we got a lot of proof, and I'm excited to see what's to come.
So this question is for Olivia. You struck out 104 batters last season. What goes into your approach when you're stepping into the circle and getting ready to face off for batters?
Really my mindset is just focus on one thing and one thing only, and that's just finding a way to get that batter out. There's nothing really specific I do. I really lock in and just really focus on that. So
Got it. This next was for Emily. You had your team's best ERA last year in your first season with North Alabama. What can you take away from that experience last year as we head into the 2026 season?
I think I can take away that, like, no matter what happened during our games, like, all the pitchers, we all stuck together. And I did have the lowest ERA, but I'm excited that all of us can do together. I think we got to stay in a lot of games because all of us worked so hard every day. I'm excited to see how it all comes together this year.
Got it. So this is for both of you. Do you have any interesting pregame rituals or superstitions that you got going into a game?
Most definitely. Every game day, I always have to have a T-bomb. Like you'll never see me without one on a game day. And something I do is when I'm pitching before I throw, I always have to touch my chalk ball. I don't know why, but I've like convinced myself it makes me throw better. So I do that as well. So
I always long toss and get warm with my sister, Katie. And so just like having that time with her, like talking about the game, what we're expecting from the other team, and just like kind of relaxing a little bit. And going out with the T-bomb, I always have a sandwich before a game. Something weird, I don't know, but I always have to.
So, what can we look forward to seeing from North Alabama this season?
I think we can definitely see, or people should expect to see a team that's really all in this year. We've talked a lot all year about being different, and I think everyone's really bought into that. And so I definitely think everyone should expect to see that. And I wouldn't want to go out my last season playing with anybody else. So
Yeah, season we have something to prove after last season didn't really go our way. We kind of ended in a weird way. So I think we're all excited to get back out there and kind of prove what we have. Our season, pre-conference season is pretty hard. And so I think preparing that way, and I think UCA on March 14th starts the game. So we're just getting ready for that. And we're taking it one game at a time, and we're proving our yeah.
So, looking forward to seeing it once again. Congratulations on being our preseason pitchers of the year, and best of luck this year.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The Hatters get 2026 started at home in DeLand hosting the Frank Griffin Classic. Last season, Stetson finished tied for second in the Graphite Division and earned 3 wins in the ASUN Softball Championship. It's a new era in Fort Myers, with the Eagles now under the leadership of Lindsey Fico. FGCU looks to improve upon its 29-30 record from last season and secure its second tournament championship in 3 years. The Governors take part in West Georgia's opening weekend to get the 2026 season started, facing off against Georgia State, Drexel, and the Wolves. Highlighting this season's roster is our first ever ASUN preseason Offensive Player of the Year, Bree Howard, who recorded 56 hits and 8 home runs last season. She also became the first student athlete to hit for the cycle in Austin Peay's program history. After being an assistant for several years, Kayla Lucas takes over the helm as head coach of the Bears in 2026. After a rebuilding season in 2025, UCA is ready to climb back to the top of ASUN softball with the help of this preseason award winner.
I am now joined by Addie Graham, Central Arkansas softball. First things first, just want to get this out of the way. Congratulations, you are the ASUN Preseason Player of the Year for 2026 softball. Just tell me what that means to you going into this season.
That is really exciting, to be honest. It's always definitely been a back of the mind goal, but knowing that I can contribute to my team like that and just being able to have a good year this year will be really beneficial, and I'm really excited.
So, coming off of a Freshman of the Year season, uh, what did you learn most in your first year at UCA?
I really learned to trust myself. In the beginning there, it took a second to kind of get used to the speed of the game, trying to get all of the new freshman nerves out of the way. It took a second. But then really learning to trust myself and trust my team led me to pick up my stats, and our team really started to benefit, and we really did better at the end of the year. So learning to trust myself.
Got it. You were in the top of the conference in a lot of hitting stats last year. Oh, what when your game day is here, what's your routine? What helps you lock in so when you're stepping to the plate, you let it all go and you just can do what you got to do?
I try in pregame, I try to have fun because I can get very nervous and anxious. So I try to let loose, have fun. And then I only have one superstition that I've done since sophomore year in high school. I eat a handful of blue or purple Skittles for every
Blue, blue or purple?
the bags. Yes, I have to have a handful of Skittles.
Got
But
it.
if I have my Skittles, I'm usually okay.
Okay, all right. And last question, What can we expect from the Bears this season?
We went through a lot of diversity with losing our whole left side last year, but I think it's benefiting us because we're learning that new things can lead to bigger and better. And so we're really excited to just put a whole new team together. And I feel like we're going to do really well. Offensively, we've looked really good. Pitchers have looked good. We have a new pitching coach. That's been awesome. And then Lucas is our new head coach, has really pushed us to be better. So I'm really excited.
Well, we're excited to see what Central Arkansas does this year. And once again, congratulations, preseason player of the year. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
The Colonels secured the 2025 Gold Division Championship with a 17-5 conference record, going 38-16 overall last season. EKU starts this season off in Clearwater, Florida, facing off against Boston College, South Alabama, Penn State, NC Central, and Pitt. Last but not least, let's take a look at our reigning ASUN champions, the North Florida Ospreys. UNF went 47-14 overall last season, which included a 22-2 mark in conference play to capture the Graphite Division title. But who better to give us insight on the Ospreys than their own head coach, Jeff Conrad? I am here with North Florida softball head coach Jeff Conrad. Coach, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. First thing, congratulations on last year's tournament victory. Coming into this season, preseason #1 pick. What do you get from that? Is there any kind of motivation going into the year knowing that your peers unanimously selected you as the #1 team?
We're obviously very appreciative, and I think it's a reflection of the growth of our program and kind of where we've come. But our kids are locked in on what it looks like at the end of the season. So we kind of came into this year, with the idea that we're probably gonna have a bullseye on our back, and I think if anything that just makes it a little bit bigger. But we've been locked in from the get-go on, the process and, getting better each week and, making sure at the end of the year that we're in the same spot as where we were last year.
Mm-hmm. 2 seasons ago, make it to the final, great game with FGCU. Mm-hmm. Last year you got it done, tournament victory. What do you do coming into this season to, I guess, get the team ready to continue that success? It's a lot different than, getting there, not getting it done. We got to get it done, but now we're repeating.
Yeah, last year's team had that motivation of being there, being that close, not finishing, and carrying that into the off season, and just kind of, using that as motivation throughout the, the fall and the spring, and trying to make sure we actually were in a position to finish the job. This year we kind of obviously let the kids enjoy the season, last year, but for us coaches, it was kind of, as soon as that, season ended in South Carolina in the regional, it was kind of, for us, it was on to the next one. We just kind of, it took about an hour to collect our stuff and focus on, what we were able to accomplish that season. But as soon as we got on that bus, the portal had opened, and it was time to move on to the next one. And, that was kind of our approach. And, we've been kind of gradually building this, like you said, getting to the final the year before, then obviously winning next year. But, the plan wasn't just to get there once and then, kind of disappear. It was kind of, to build something that was sustainable, get to that point, and then keep coming back for more. And that's kind of what our approach has been. Our kids have really done a really good job of staying locked in on, last year's team was last year's team. This team still has a lot to prove. And, we brought in a bunch of kids that are hungry to win championships, and I think we're in a really good place.
What can we look forward to seeing from the 2026 Ospreys?
Well, it's a talented team. There's no doubt it's probably one of the more talented teams since I've been here. I hate to compare teams. Last year's team was obviously very talented, but the one thing that was great about last year's group is they understood that you can have all the talent, you can have all these accolades, but if you don't go out there on the field and prove it day in and day out, it doesn't mean a whole lot. So, I think that'll be the big challenge for this group is, they know they got to go out and do it on a day-to-day basis. But it's a super talented group. It's really deep. It's an athletic group. Getting to the point where we were playing South Carolina in a regional final, the great thing about that is you really find out where your shortcomings are, where you have to improve. For us, we really found out in the region our lineup wasn't long enough, so we really worked at lengthening our lineup. Our offense is a lot more balanced. It's going to be, obviously last year with Allison Benning, teams were, obviously trying to navigate her and not let her do a lot of damage. There's not a lot of room for you to kind of maneuver around people. It's a lengthy lineup, and it's a good lineup top to bottom. It's a pretty versatile lineup, and we got some kids that can run, some kids that are going to steal bases. So I think we'll really be a fun, offensive group to watch. We've really put a lot of emphasis and a lot of pride in what we're doing on the defensive side. It's really been a main focus for us. We brought in a really good group, talented infielders, that can really play. We've got 2 outfielders in McCarthy and Langford that are just elite, ball trackers that are really, really fun to watch. So it's a really good group. Obviously our pitching staff is somewhat young, and I think that'll be the big question is, who's going to pick up those wins in the circle that Benning provided. And it's probably not going to be necessarily one kid, but we feel really good about the depth that we have in our staff that will be able to get, a lot of those victories from a combination of different kids.
Yep. Well, excited to see what UNF will do this year.
Yep.
Best of luck this season, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, that wraps up our look around the conference. I am William Hall, and this has been the ASUN Softball Preseason Show. We'll see you next week for first pitch of the 2026 season.